Hello. So I'm want to kind of show off how I make these 1/14 scale ratchet straps made for securing loads, like with the Tamiya Grand Hauler, King Hauler, Globe Liner. You know, anything on a flatbed or something like that you want to secure down. My last video you saw that flatbed trailer where we made the rub rails in place for ratchet straps to hook to. So I want to show you how I make these. Mainly parts from a hardware store, a fabric store, and 3D printed parts. The main part is this kind of simulated ratchet strap. Obviously it doesn't have a ratcheting mechanism in there. It's just a pull the cloth through a couple loops, kind of a tension hold, but it gives it a nice look compared to some of the other options out there. So to do this project, you're going to need some 18 gauge galvanized wire. You can find this at any hardware store. I picked this up. I was out of my last roll. I had to pick up another roll tonight from my local Ace hardware store. Again, it's just a simple safety wire. You want to get galvanized, so it's a steel. It is flexible and bendable, that you can form it. You also see aluminum out there. Aluminum's too soft. You'll lose the structure on it pretty easily. So you'll need a chunk of wire, and so we'll show you how I make a few of these. You also need a pair of needle nose pliers. Nothing great or special, just some basic needle nose pliers. And this is the hook we're going to make. It kind of looks, it's rolled over. A lot of the ratchet straps, you'll see a hook similar style to this. Some of the wide ratchet straps will actually have a piece of flat metal. For this purpose, these are pretty easy to make. I'll usually sit down and turn on my favorite show and just watch them as I make these things. And so we'll go ahead and make one together. Not extremely scientific. I go about 1.25 inches from the end and bend it over and then squeeze it together. And then at the end of the needle nose, I'll clamp onto it and roll it around the edge to get the hook in there. So now we have that rolled end. Then I'll clamp on this vertically where I'm clamping on the hook, and I'll bend each of these out 90 degrees. It will kind of hurt your thumb a little bit if you do a lot. You'll get a callous thumb on there. So if you want to have like a small piece of wood or something to bend that against, you can. But then as close as I can, I hook on right beside that hook with my needle nose and bend it up. And then I'll come over again and bend it over. You know, as you're doing it, kind of squaring things off, and do the same for the other side. Get as close as you can, bend it in, and then bend it in again. So there you got your basic hook. Then you can use your needle nose, the cutter aspects of it, to trim that down. And there we have our hook that we'll use for the ratchet strap. And you can just sit there, just, you know, cut out a couple foot of wire and just sit there and make them. It only takes about 2 inches of this wire. This roll I just got's 110 feet, so I can make hundreds, if not thousands, of these things. So get a pile of hooks made up. Then you're gonna need some ribbon. I buy this ribbon at Joann Fabrics. I'm sure you can find it at Hobby Lobby or any other fabric store. It's a 3/8 inch wide by 21 feet long. I personally like the yellow. That's a real common look you'll see. I've also made a bunch of these in black. They carry this ribbon in all kinds of different colors, so if there's a color of strap that you want to have, yeah, let your creativity go. I cut 2 pieces of ribbon per strap. First one is 2 inches long, and so actually on my table here I have marks at 2 inches and 18 inches. So a 2-inch long one and an 18-inch long one. I don't have a hot knife, so when you cut this it'll fray a little bit. So on the 18-inch long one, if you had a hot knife and made a nice sealed edge, you can. I just put a little bit of super glue on the end to kind of give it a hard tip so that it doesn't fray out. And so I've already done that to one. So this one's already kind of hard. To get them to feed well, I'll then just take scissors and kind of 45 the ends there, just a little bit where I glued. So that glue holds it together, and now we have a nice end that won't fray out. The other side will then So I got this unglued, it's drying. The other side will loop through the hook, and I usually go about 1/4 inch or so, and I'll hold it with my thumb so it can open up there. And I'll take the super glue again and put a roll of a line of super glue in there, and squeeze it together. I usually take some tweezers that have a hole in it to hold that together while it dries. So we'll let that sit and dry. This one's been going for a few minutes. So there we see our hook is glued down. If it didn't look like it glued well enough, it may be only half stuck, you can put just a little bit more on there. Again, if you'd rather use fabric glue or whatever, user choice. So there's our first main strap. Then we take one of these 2-inch long pieces, and we're going to grab another hook, up together there, and again loop it kind of that same distance, and I'll get a line of super glue. And normally what I'll do is I'll do this once they dry, then I'll put the other end on. I'll go ahead and put that clamp on there, but for purposes right now, in looking at this, it has 3 slots in it. This slot is for what's gonna be the short strap or the fixed strap. Then you got a wide slot and a narrow slot. The strap will come from underneath through the wide slot, over top of this through the narrow slot, and that kind of keeps it held in place. So we're going to take this, you want to make sure you feed it in the right direction so your seams are both hidden on the bottom side. So we'll feed that through. And we'll loop it around there. Holding my thumb here, and now we'll get a little bit of super glue on that. And then I'll get another pair of tweezers. These tweezers will be just kind of using as clamps to hold that down, and we'll sit and let that dry. So once that's dry, what we're going to have is one of these straps that you can see the seams are on the bottom side. So you can take that, you can pull this tight to tighten your load down. When you want to release it, just like a normal, like almost like an over-center belt loop, you pull that up and it'll loosen up. So in the past I sold a pack of these, a 5-pack of these for like 10 bucks, you know, about $2 a piece. It's not hardly worth my time to do that. So that's why I want to make this video, show you guys so you can make your own. I will leave the link for this STL file in the description. I'm not going to put a link for anything else. Go to your fabric store and find the ribbon, and go to your hardware store and find the wire. If you don't have means of 3D printing parts and you want to just buy the straps for me, or maybe just buy these, I'll go ahead and leave my email right here, joeofalltrades00@gmail.com, and send me an email. We can work something out, selling you some or whatever. So hope you guys enjoy this. Hope you guys enjoy the videos of building and customizing RC. Got a number of projects in the works. My printer is going right now from my step deck to redoing my step deck a little bit, and I'll make a video on what we've done there. So hey, you guys have a good one.